Okay, let's get this rolling. And it seems like we are live now. So let's type a little message here, and hopefully we'll have some people that come by. Anyhow, welcome Tuesday evening. Going to try to do a couple things. Let's
gonna do some maintenance
get this
stuff
rolling
first.
I read at a stand. Seems like we are live
the other
now.
day, and I ordered some from Lidco, so they came in. So we're gonna do
Let's
not
type
really
a little
an
message
unboxing,
here, and hopefully we'll have some
we
people
do
that
need
come
to
by.
take this stuff out.
Anyhow,
make sure we got the right ones.
Welcome Tuesday evening. Going to try to do
Make sure they sent me the right ones.
okay.
A couple things.
Let's
Gonna do some
let's
maintenance
get this
stuff
rolling.
first. Do something I should have done before I read these, and just do a live count.
welcome
on
Tuesday
what I have
evening.
left.
Going to try to do
The other sizes.
okay.
The 40 by 20
Let's,
size. I'm gonna do some
let's get
maintenance
this
stuff
rolling.
first.
I read at a stand. Seems like we are live
the other
now.
day, and I ordered some from Lidco, so they came in. So we're gonna do a
Let's
not
type
really
a little
an
message
unboxing,
here, and hopefully we'll have some people
do
that come
need to-
by.
Take this
Don't
stuff
move
out.
back.
Make
Anyhow,
sure we got the right ones.
Welcome Tuesday evening. Going to try to do
More Ziploc bags.
little box might come
Make
in.
sure they sent me the right ones.
Okay.
All right, so we've
Let's,
got
heavy
some
duty.
maintenance. I use the 3mm thick, so we've got
Let's roll
40
it.
by
Do
20s.
something
I should have done before
we
I
got
read
3mm
just do
thick.
and live count.
The heavy duty magnets that go with them. When I started, they had the
Welcome
standard
Tuesday
Tuesday
evenings.
evenings. We're going to try to do
Heavy duty ones and
okay. They have a little bit more
grippage, magnetic grippage. So I like that.
I like more
40
magnetic.
by 20.
Let's,
I'm gonna do some
let's get
maintenance
this
stuff
rolling.
first.
I read at a stand. Seems like we are live
the other
now.
day.
So we have.
I ordered some from Lidco, so they came in. So we're gonna do
Okay, yeah, we should be
not
good.
really
A
an
little
unboxing,
message here.
Might just be a bad time for
people
folks
to
to
show
show
up.
up. But hey, I had an opportunity to do some filming, so
Let's do
stuff
some.
out.
Anyhow,
Make sure we got the right ones.
so welcome
got this,
Tuesday
and
evening. We're going to try to do
more like a bag where everything is just loose.
box might come in.
So I'm gonna attempt to sort
Okay.
some of them
All
out.
right, so we've got this
Thank you.
with this Plano box that I use the 3mm thick. So we've got this roll. Do something I should have done before I got 3mm thick.
And live count.
The heavy duty magnets that go with them. When I started, they had the standard Tuesday evenings. We're going to try to do
So I'm not really
okay.
using this Plano box.
more,
So I'm gonna put my stuff in here and grippage, magnetic grippage. So let's see what we have size wise. So we've got
more
40
magnetic
by
40 by
15.
15.
I'm gonna do some
Let's get
maintenance
this
stuff
rolling.
first.
I read at a stand. Seems like we are
the
live
other
now.
day.
So we have.
I ordered some from Lidco, some 40 by 20s.
Okay, yeah, we should be
Not
good.
really
A little
40 by
message here.
30.
Might just be a bad time for people to show up.
But hey, I had an opportunity to do some filming. So 40s.
Let's do some.
Make
Anyhow,
sure we got the right ones.
so welcome
got this,
Tuesday
and
evening. We're going to try to do
more that's round
like a bag
stands.
where everything is just loose.
So I'm gonna attempt to
Okay.
sort some of them
All right,
out.
so we've got this
Thank you.
with this Plano box that I use the 3mm thick. So we've got this roll. Do something I should have done before I got 3mm thick.
And live count.
The heavy duty magnets that go with them. When I started, they
Somehow
had
this
the
got all
standard Tuesday evenings. I was going to try to do
So I'm not really
okay.
using the Plano box.
more.
So I'm gonna put my stuff in here and grippage, magnetic grippage. So let's see what we have size wise. So we've got
more
40
magnetic
by
40 by
15.
15.
I'm gonna do some
Let's get
maintenance
this
stuff
rolling.
first.
I read at a stand. Seems like we are live the other day. So we have 40 by 20s. Okay, yeah, we should be good. A little message here. Might just be a bad time for folks to show up. But here's more 40 by 20s.
Do some filming. So 40s.
Let's do some. Anyhow, so welcome Tuesday evening. We're going to try to do. Go ahead and put these back in there.
That's
Like
round
a bag
stands.
where everything is just loose.
So
Back arena.
okay.
All right, so we've
Okay.
got
Thank you.
welcome with this Plano box that I use the 3mm.
Just doing some maintenance
So
stuff
we've
here.
got this
So
roll. These are 40 by 3mm thick.
these are 40 by 5.
The heavy duty magnets that go with them. after I just got it started, they had the standard Tuesday evenings. I was going to try to do, I think I need I'm not okay. The 40 by 30s I'm going through. The 40 by 20s I'm going through really fast.
And see what we have size-wise.
Because any skirmishers, bone, 40 by 15, I'm going to do some maintenance
this roll.
SAS blades, auxilia, rail stands the other day. So we have 40 by 20s, 40 by 20s, and magnets. Might just be a bad time to go to show us. A lot of people 40 by 20s, 40s, anyhow, putting their heavy on the 40. I've got a Tuesday evening, not a fan of doing that. Put these back in. I think they look better, like a bag where everything is just loose. So here's one of that. Here's a stand. Alright, so here's a stand with this Plano box. And I use the 3mm. Just doing some maintenance stuff here. This roll is I'm still got a 3mm stand. These are 45 heavy-duty magnets and outs. After I just got it started, they had this standard Tuesday evenings. I was going to try to do, I think I need I'm not okay. The 40 by 30s I'm going through. The 40 by 20s I'm going through really fast.
And see what we have size-wise.
Because any skirmishers, bone, 40 by 15, I'm going to do some maintenance this roll. SAS blades, auxilia, rail stands. I thought it was one short. So we you know what it was? I didn't have any magnets. And I'm not sure how I ran out of magnets. And magnets is a lot here. Might just be a bad time to go to show us. A lot of people 40s by 20s. Got to remember this one. 40s. Anyhow, putting their heavy on the 40. I've got a Tuesday evening, not a fan of doing that. I think they look better, like a bag where everything is just loose. So here's one of that. Here's a stand. Alright, so okay. Here's a stand. I got some Plano boxes that I usually can. Just doing some maintenance stuff here. This roll is I'm still got a 3mm stand. These are 45 heavy-duty magnets and outs. After I just got it started, they had this standard Tuesday evenings. I was going to try to do, I think I need I'm not okay. The 40 by 30s I'm going through. The 40 by 20s I'm going through really fast.
And see what we have size-wise.
Because any skirmishers, bone, 40 by 15, some maintenance this roll. SAS blades, auxilia, rail stands. I thought it was one short. So we you know what it was? I didn't have long 40 by 15. I ran out of mag 60. Double magnets is a lot here. Might just be a bad time to go to show us. A lot of people 40 by 20s. Got to remember this one. 40s. Anyhow, putting their heavy on the 40. I've got a Tuesday evening, not a fan of doing that.
So what did I need? I needed one
look better, like a bag where everything is just loose. So here's one of that. Here's a stand. Okay. Here's a stand. I got some Plano boxes that I usually can. Just doing some maintenance stuff here. This roll is I'm still got a 3mm stand. These are 45 heavy-duty magnets and outs. 40 after I just got it started. They had this standard Tuesday evenings. I was going to try to do, I think I need I'm not okay. The 40 by 30s I'm going through. The 40 by 20s I'm going through really fast.
And see what we have size-wise.
Because any skirmishers, bone, 40 by 15, some maintenance this roll. SAS blades, auxilia, rail stands. I thought it was one short. So you know what it was? I didn't have long 40 by 15. I ran out of mag 60. Double magnets is a lot here. Might just be a bad time to go. Alright, see if that's any better. Somehow desktop audio is on. You know, I do things the same way every time, and they work fine the first time, and then you do it next time, and all of a sudden it behaves differently. And I haven't changed any of the settings. I had trouble getting this feed started just a little moment ago. It didn't look like it was connecting through YouTube, and I don't know. The mysteries of the internet. I don't understand how people like IT stuff. It would drive me crazy. It would drive me absolutely crazy. Something would work one time, and the next time I try it, it doesn't work. So you figure it's broken. Well, the third time you try it, it starts working again. I can't deal with that. Inconsistency. Just going to trim the edge of these because the magnet is slightly larger than the actual stand. So, here we go. The Russians are back. Oh, why can't I do anything about that there? Do I have to do it here? Yeah. Come on. And remove. Okay, it took way too many clicks to do that. Katrina Granada. See ya. Don't come over here and spam my site. You're not welcome. I don't go to other places and do that to other people. I expect the same treatment. Okay, so now we've got the 6 stands that we're going to need for... Oh, really? I never put magnets on these? Yes, I did. 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. These 2 are extra. Okay. So let's pick up where we left off. Which I have kind of a mess on my hands because this thing hit the ground. I actually never... And we got some splatter here on the... So let's wipe that down. I actually never had that happen before. I'm just trying to do too much with too little. Okay, I took care of that. And... let's get our hotel key we use to smooth this stuff out. Oh, this thing's plenty wet still. I don't know how long we'll be on here tonight, but maybe I'll get something done. Can't hurt, right? All right. These are the stands for these guys that we're doing right here. All right. I guess James L. left. Well, we should be okay on that. For some reason, the desktop auto got turned on. So that's, you'd get 2 different sources. You'd get the sources that would be coming from the computer and the microphone. So yeah, I could see that totally not working. So, yeah, definitely. Happy Tuesday, Rick. Is the sound coming through okay? Somehow the desktop audio got turned on and it's not supposed to. Usually you just want the mic going. Happy Tuesday. 1 day closer to not having to work. 1 day closer to retirement. 1 day closer to death. Man, I gotta get this army done quick. All right. Uh-oh. No, that's the other message. Thought you had responded. Okay. I guess if the sound's not coming in well, people will let me know. People are quick to bring up the bad points. Hey, you sound like shit. Yep, sounds great. Okay. Yeah, for some reason, the desktop audio got turned on, and I never use it. But what happens if I turn this thing on like this?
No, it doesn't affect it. I don't know why it decided to tinker with this. I saw you. You had a video the other day where you went live. I didn't watch it, probably because I was asleep. It was kind of a late time thing, and you guys had a couple of cups, and your friend had the one that said the COVID-19 thing. And I noticed you had one that said blinker fluid, and I would not have known anything about that had I not been a member of some car forums in the last year, and I know exactly what that's in reference to. So, yeah, I need to go to the store and pick up some blinker fluid for me. Okay. So this little guy that was here, this is where we left off on this guy. We were painting this fool. And, we were painting faces. We're giving this guy a facial. All right, let's finish up his face here. Let's finish up his face. What's the game count on your games in your hobby room? You actually came up in conversation last night. I was talking about how I need to send the boys a link to your huge hobby space, which unlike most people, it seems like your area is very organized. So in other words, if Mitch had that many games, you wouldn't be able to step in his door. And yours seems to be pretty organized, so that's I appreciate that. Otherwise, you end up going crazy. When you work in an environment or where you're trying to do your hobby in an environment that's too messy, you keep losing things, and it's because there's so many distractions, and you're used to seeing those distractions, so it's kind of like if you drive around with a car with a bunch of like warning lights on. If you get used to driving on with warning lights on, you get desensitized to when they come on that there's something really wrong with the vehicle. And again, if you've got all this junk that you're trying to look around, it could be right in front of you, but you're constantly ignoring, this is all things. No, this isn't it. This isn't it. This isn't it. This isn't it. And you miss what you're looking for. So, actually, the warning signs, that actually happens in my vehicle. I had a thing on my vehicle which I didn't even know I had. I had a thing called, what's the correct terminology for it? It's called, it may be called auto brake. Anyways, it's a stick shift, and there's a thing on there. Oh, it's hill assist is what it's called. I didn't know the car had this. I don't need this. I didn't even know this was a thing. But apparently, if you're on a very steep hill, which I don't need in my part of the world because we're flat as hell here. Yeah, we've got some hills, but nothing super steep like that. It senses when the car starts rolling backward when you supposedly don't want to, and it can catch you. Well, I didn't know that. I mean, my other stick shift car never had that. You learn. So I was listening to some of the people on the car forums for smoother shifting. It says, yeah, you need to disable hill assist. So I go look and find out what hill assist is, and I go do it, and it's this sequence of hold this one button down while you turn the lights on and off, and all this nonsense stuff to finally get it off. And I get rewarded with the hill assist being removed, so now it behaves like a normal stick shift vehicle with no, you're screwed basically. Your car's going to roll back if you're not paying attention, as it should. That's how you learn, right? But it's not like it's the first time I've been driving a stick shift. But you get rewarded with this yellow icon with a car that's on a little incline on there. So because I disabled something and the car functions perfectly fine, I have to look at this yellow light the whole time. So I am being desensitized to seeing something on my dash. It's a yellow light that normally that would be, hey, you need to pay attention to this. There's something wrong here, but there's nothing wrong at all. So that's kind of annoying. I guess you could go in there and take that little light out or do something like that. But I have a few more of those too. My favorite one says Bleach. You just broke the 1,000 mark cataloged on the Board Game Geek website a couple months ago. I think I'm up to 1014 right now. Most are from when I got into the hobby and was buying more than I was playing. I buy much less these days and focus on playing. Yeah. Do you have any unopened? That's when you know you have a problem. You have a bunch of games and they're unopened. At least open them. Enjoy the, how they're packaged up, the smell of them. Some of them smell good. Some of them can smell weird. So I never understood people that collected toys and they don't take them out of the package. Like, what's the point? What's the point? People that wear hats and they don't take the label off. Come on. Get out of here. I'm old school. There's no way I'd wear a freaking hat with a label on it. And then my other vehicle that I used to have before, it had all kinds of things that I wanted to disable, and I had all kinds of yellow things all on my dash. So, eventually you get desensitized to look at those things. You're like, yeah, it's just nothing. And then you have something may come up that's a real problem, but now you're desensitized to it. So I don't want none of that automatic stuff. I don't want automatic headlights. I want Bluetooth in my vehicle, air conditioning, a stick shift preferably. What else? Cruise control. Got to have cruise control. And then the rest, I don't even care about having automatic windows. I mean, every vehicle has automatic windows, but that's not really that necessary. But lane assist and all that nonsense crap, I don't want that. My wife's car has a sensor on it that if it senses, notice I said if it senses, not if you really do. If it senses that you're not looking straight ahead towards the roadway, you get a little beep, beep, beep sound. And it's really annoying. So I tested it the other day where I was on a drive. It was constantly banging me for things, and I'm like looking right at the thing. So I just decided to cock my head like maybe at a 30-degree angle and still look straight ahead at the roadway. And it did not like that. It wanted to complain every 10 seconds or whatever, give me a little beep, beep, beep sound that I wasn't paying attention. So, yeah, I couldn't deal with that. That would drive me bananas. I don't like Big Brother, so. Yes, there's definitely some still in the shrink, not because I'm trying to keep them pristine, but because I haven't gotten around to playing them yet. My rule now is right when the game comes into the house, I unbox it, unpunch it, and learn the rules before I get another game. Still have a backlog of older games to do that with, though. Got them all on Board Game Geek, huh? I try to do my stuff on Board Game Geek too, but I forget. Like all my plays for DBA and stuff, but I know I've forgotten some. Board Game Geek is really cool because it gives you a lot of people post on there like what's included in the game and the counters and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of really neat stuff if people decide to share those things about the particular game that you're doing. If they didn't, well, then you don't have much to go on. But it doesn't have a really good or at least I haven't had much success with a search engine. So in other words, you can look for a game and just about any game is on there, including miniatures rules. It doesn't necessarily have to be board games. But it doesn't have a really good, if you forget how to spell the name in the game, I know that sounds silly, but I'm getting to it. If you misspell the name of the game, you're never going to find it. You got to get the name of the game spelled correctly, or maybe there is another way to do it. But there's a game that I have called Maneuver, and it's spelled in the French manner, which is ridiculously. I have to remember it every time how to do it. It's a little small. It's almost like a Napoleonics type DBA type card driven game. It's a great little game, and it's just called Maneuver. It's by GMT. And I think it's MANO. And here's where it gets crazy. NEOUVU. I don't know. It just goes sideways. So if you don't have it like if you go to try to look for it on your own, you're never going to find it. So unlike most searches, if you get kind of close, like if you just do a Google search and just get close, it'll take you to where you need to go. But I guess there's just that many different games. So yeah, thank goodness I started cataloging day one. I'm not sure I have the ambition to go back and start now. Yeah, it'd be overwhelming. I'm glad I recorded all my win-loss ratios and DBA from day one. I don't know why it occurred to me to do that. Maybe because I just felt like this game was different. It's a tournament game, and it's the only game I've played that was a tournament game. So I don't know, maybe I just felt like I needed to just keep track of my wins and losses. Have all my wins and losses from the beginning. I don't have all of the like the first 20 games, I don't have the scores and stuff and how many kills there were on either side. Like the first 20 games. So you're talking like 2004, But then after that, yeah, I've got everything else on it. And it's fun to go back and look and see, what's the biggest whooping that somebody's ever put on me, or what's the biggest, what's the best win I had in a game. I think I had a 7-0, but not more than that. Just neat to go back and look at those things. And I guess they got links to some other people selling the games too. I don't know. I've never even considered buying something from Board Game Geek from a person. What has been my longest win streak? Wow, that's a good question. I'm going to say about 11 games. And I just did let me just switch page. And I can't show you. I'm still new at this format, but there's a way that I can share my screen, and maybe in the next couple weeks I'll figure out how to do that, because that would be kind of cool. Let me open this thing up here. My longest win streak. Well, I did do one thing. Every time I've got a line where everything about the game. I got like the date. If there's an event. Or not. If there isn't, most of the time it's just filled in with Mitch's house. What army I used, who was the enemy army, who the enemy player was. Did I win terrain? Did I win the game? My units killed, my units lost, and then which version of the rules were being played. So 3.0 is pretty much the standard. What size board and was it filmed? And if it was filmed, what the name of the event is. And above that, I've got all my wins and loss ratios. Rates for the armies that I own myself, because obviously I morph things as well, so that really doesn't fall in that category. But all the games so far, I have 1970, so I've got 30 more games, and I hit a sweet 2,000 games of DBA, of standard DBA. Okay, so like big battle games and stuff like that, they don't count in here because you're comparing apples to oranges. You can't judge a big battle win the same as you can a standard one. And I don't really do big battle anymore, so, and I didn't do it that much to begin with. But if you're playing a scenario game or something like that, I wouldn't. They don't fall into the same category. So, and each one of those lines, I've got it either in black. It's a white background, so black is standard, or I put it in red if it's a loss. So if that game was a loss, that entire line is in red. So you at a glance can see what is the run of reds of blacks in a row that you have largest. And here's one that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7. Let's see. That's shorter than 7. I don't expect it to be really out of hand because I play Mitch most of the time. And we have damn near a 50-50 win-loss. I'm up 9 games, actually. I'm up 9 games, and we have played 927 games. We've played 927 games. I've won 468 and lost 459. So we're damn near even. So odds are I'm not going, if I have a huge win against him, a win run, then I would end up having a big win-loss also, just to, a big loss run, just to kind of even things out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's another 7 run. A lot of 4s, 5s, stuff like that. One, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Here's another 7. I have 3 runs of 7. Oh. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here's 9 from 2014 against Mitch. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ah, there's 11. 11 in a row from 2014. That's got to be the big one. It's hard to win 11 games in a row. That's the biggest one. 11. Now, what the hell were we doing that those guys got beat 11 times in a friggin' row? Ptolemaic against his early polls. Oh, that's when he had the early polls, when he got them. Early polls. My Warring States Chinese versus early polls. We played a lot of the same things over in a row, so. Interesting. No, there you go. There's the answer. Mr. Dirk, welcome. I should have been a statistician. I do like numbers. I like that stuff. As long as the stats that we're looking at are interesting. And you're also enjoying playing different scenarios, so it's not like you're hell-bent on protecting a win streak. Nah, I'm not interested in that. I don't mind losing any of these guys. Good thing, right? Mitch is only 9 games behind. I told him when he gets ahead of me, he's going to start having to film everything. Which means you guys are going to get no games because, you know, he can't even type things into his phone. He speaks into it. True story. So I was really annoyed. We played the games yesterday, and I was too tired. I edited the video last night, but I was too tired to stay up to while it crunched it. So I crunched it this morning, uploaded it, picked a thumbnail for it, waited for it to process. And, you know, because you want it to process in high definition, in 1080, before I tell everybody, hey, there's this, my battles are up, and I don't want you to go, oh, let's check them out. And they look like crap because YouTube hadn't processed the HD version yet. So I waited for all that, and then I posted it like I normally do. I shared it on Facebook. And something happened where the thumbnail never got put on there. I mean, it's on there. It's, if you look at my playlist, you'll see the thumbnail for Good Night, Sweet Prince. It's on there. But it never sent it to Facebook. And there's no way I was able to fix that. And it's just annoying that going through all that effort. And then, you know, here's this announcement for this series of battles that we did. And there's no thumbnail on it on the Facebook. But I did it exactly the same way I've done the other 200 videos. And didn't have a problem with those. So, you know. So I'm telling you, this IT stuff drives me bananas. It drives me bananas that stuff works one time and then you do it the same way and it doesn't work the other time. You know, I don't do things a different way. I'm just not that curious when it comes to, hey, let me try to upload it this different way. I'm like, nope, I find out what works and that's what I'm sticking with, because the last thing I want to do is spend a couple hours trying to undo or fix something that's not painting. You know, and worse than it's not painting, that's not stress relieving. It's stress causing. So, which is the opposite of a hobby. Maybe some people have a hobby of, what's your hobby? I like getting stressed out. Well, I mean, do you punch people in the face when you're done? No, I just enjoy being stressed out. Well, that's not very good of a hobby. Anyhow, I'm glad there's some people that enjoy that stuff, because otherwise, when something went down, a server went down or whatever, there'd be nobody to fix it, because I have no interest in that kind of stuff. Zero interest. All right. Time to do the bow on this dude. Yeah, I like having all those stats in my game. Somebody asked me the other day, it was on one of these feeds or whatever, they were wondering, you know, about camps. Have I taken a camp? I looked it up because, you know, according to my score, I can tell whether I lost one or I took one over. And camps rarely play into my games. It's not something that I strive to do, go take the enemy's camp. Because in doing so, you can isolate part of your own army. So, but if the guy leaves nobody in front of his camp and it's completely undefended, yeah, I might think of it, but that's not one of my go-to things, is to go after the enemy's camp. You know, if you're kind of in the neighborhood anyways and his camp is undefended, I'm like, oh, I'll go ahead and stroll over there and see what's cooking, literally. My friend Mike and I have done live game nights the past couple weeks. He's one of my only friends who's comfortable on camera. Is it? I think it's fun to be on camera. Too many cool things happen that other people can enjoy to not film it. There's just too many interesting things that could happen. So the main thing is just get over how you sound. And, it's really weird, like the first couple days, and then you realize, oh, that's what I sound like. And, now it's like I hear myself and I'm like, yep, that's what I sound like outside my own head. Back to work, just finished my lunch break. Specifically put on royalty-free music for our first one. 4+ hours, but evidently one song in the list wasn't actually royalty-free and it got flagged. Yeah. Yeah, that's a bummer when you do that. I had a problem with I was filming a live session. I mean, I was doing one of these, right? And the girls were in the other room. The doors closed and everything. Of course, this can pick up stuff a lot better than my hearing. Like, I can't hear jack most of the time. And they were in the other room and they were watching Gilmore Girls. And the song of Gilmore Girls came on. I didn't even hear it here, but the YouTube picked it up and they flagged my video. So my alternative was to take the video down or do an automatic edit. And so in other words, take it down and edit it myself. Well, I can't. Once it's off my phone, it's gone. I don't save them anywhere. Or have them do like an automatic. They'll take all of the sound during that time. So if I was saying something really interesting, how to solve all the universe's problems, and it was at the same time that this copyrighted music was playing in the background, it would have to shush all that out, and that's what I ended up doing. But it picked up the theme song to a show in another room that I couldn't even hear, and yeah, it was a problem with that. So, hello, Kevin. Fixing servers is part of my job. Yeah, I don't have the patience for that. I'm not made for that kind of nonsense. We're not all made for the same skills, That's okay. Then our second one last Saturday, I made sure it wouldn't be copyright issues, but I forgot to silence my phone, and the song I have for my text tone went off for 11 seconds, and it got flagged. I know. It's just you can't win. So the only music I use now, pretty much, is I'll go through my editor, which is kind of limited. So there's stuff on KineMaster, which is the editor I use on my phone for my videos. I mean, this isn't edited, but like the game videos, and it's really limited on what they have. So I can go and search. There's some royalty-free music stuff on there. There's a couple of composers that do really cool stuff, but I could spend 6 hours looking for the perfect song, and that defeats the purpose of putting a video out. If I'm going to make a game video and I'm going to edit it and do all that, and then spend a long time looking for the perfect song, and then it's like I'm not going to get any painting done. That's good for people that don't paint. And what's your hobby? Oh, I put videos together. Yeah, I don't have time for do that because there's so much free music out there that's really, really cool. So, yeah. So, but. And I know that because I did that one time. I spent, when you're looking for stuff you could burn up a heck of a lot of time. Like if you're figuring out, well, why is my camera not working? Well, let me look it up on the internet. And the next thing you know, 2 hours have gone by. Like, holy crap. So. Yeah, that copyright stuff is I don't know how other people do it. I know that there's, like, for instance, I know there's people that do like watch parties, right? They'll film, and maybe on Facebook or whatever. They film themselves watching a movie or whatever, and they put it on Facebook. And I know it's monetized. I don't know how they get away with not of doing that. And I guess I don't want to do it bad enough to figure it out, but I always think something would be really cool is put on some movie and then do the commentary. Because, man, I got an opinion about a lot of movies. It's happening. I'm harsh on movies, especially those zombie movies. And I was watching somebody turn me on to this one guy that I know who happens to like everything. I know a couple of people that don't like anything, and this particular person likes everything. Everything is he happens to like. So I'm like, oh, I'll watch this thing. It's like 8 or 9 episodes or whatever. And I'm just like, man, I wish I was being filmed because, man, I could tell you, you don't do that. You don't go in. These people are, you're in a zombie apocalypse and you're armed with nothing. Like, okay, I get it. You don't have firearms, whatever. Go grab a freaking table leg and carry that around with you. Anything, but they're just, it would have been fun to talk back to the television and have that filmed. I would have enjoyed that, so. I wish there was a way to do that that wouldn't be too complicated, that wouldn't be copyrighted, because that could be fun. Mitch and I watch a zombie movie. Like, I wouldn't do that. Don't go over there. Hey, that guy shot 8 times and that thing only has 6 rounds. That kind of stuff. Yeah, that stuff doesn't get biased. Good morning, Cat Roger. Welcome. Yeah, James, you left for a little bit. I think you left for a little bit. It was the audio on the desktop was turned on, so it was getting audio from the microphone on the computer, which I never use, or the big one, the blue, what's this called? Blue Rhino, whatever the thing it is, Big Blue, something like that. I forget what it is. I think it's Blue Rhino, Blue Yeti. That's what it is, Blue Yeti. Yeah, it's a big microphone. And this is the small one. The other one is like freaking huge. Yeah, I'm rough on movies. I'm hard to. The thing is as a viewer, you want to see a good movie. The people that make the movie just want to make $1. They're just there to make money for the most part. So that's why you get garbage most of the time. Yeah, I don't know how they do it. They watch stuff on there and then you can. I don't know. Maybe I'm misinformed and you can't do that. Sure, it seems like you can do that. Watch party, I think is what they call it. But I want to do color commentary on it because some things just need to be said. KK, there you are. Welcome, KK. All good, glad to be here. Prepping some dwarves for Hordes of the Things, using bases with round corners. It looks so nice. I hope it doesn't upset opponents. I don't think it'd be an issue. Just clarify what you're doing. I'm sure it looks better with rounded corners. Absolutely. Yeah, like the Flames of War stuff, right? That has rounded corners. Those bases look beautiful. Hordes of the Things. I've played 4 or 5 games of Hordes of the Things, but fantasy's not really my thing. I'm not opposed to playing more. I just can't play, and I can't be the point of contact on those rules because I'm going to get stuff wrong, and those fall in the category of things I'm never going to do. And one of the categories of things I'm never going to do is I'm never measuring all corners again, ever. That's you move and you got to measure all the. That 2.2 thing, and I think that's the case in Hordes of Things. Maybe it isn't. Maybe you just measure the front corners, but I don't want to go back to that. Those were the dark ages. That's extremely unsatisfying doing that. Let's give this guy this hat. Let's give him a hat in this color. Oh. we go. All right, we're going to use this color as a base, but of course, we're going to add some black to it because we need to put the base color down first. Been playing Lancashire games, Pharaoh's Command Chariot today. No rush, still have a day or so left on it. Another reins job. Yeah, once you start putting reins on chariots, it's really difficult to go back and not putting reins on things. It's kind of the opposite of that invisible dog. Remember that thing that they used to have? If you're older than me, you probably don't have those things now, but if you're older than me, if you're my age or older, you'll know what I'm talking about. They made those things for kids, and it was just like a leash, right? And there was wire in there, so there was the thing at the end where it would go around your pet, right? And you would hold a leash, but it's just sitting in the middle of the air. There's nothing there, so it looks like you're walking an invisible dog. Well, the reins are kind of the opposite of that. The reins are what's invisible, and there's your horse, and somehow he knows sign language and can see out the back of his head and knows what you're telling him to do with the reins. Once you start putting reins on things, you're like, man, I can't handle not having any reins on my chariots, So, most of 3.0 changes were brought in except the fast, solid distinction. Okay. Well, that's the easiest stuff to figure out is the details for the troop types. That's the easiest thing you figure out as a new player. The hardest thing you figure out with is all the geometry and the abstractness. That is an uphill climb for new players for sure. And I know because it was an uphill climb for me. This is the one we were using. But I have the set of rules. And at the time that 2.2 was around, it was definitely better written rules than 2.2. It was the sentence structure was better. But if I was going to do fantasy, I'd be tempted to use Dragon Rampant. Because I actually like that system a lot. And it makes sense. A lot of the stuff makes sense in that. Actually, I haven't played Dragon Rampant. I've played Lion Rampant, the historical version. And I don't think that there's, I think the mechanics are still the same. But that's a good system. Yeah, it's kind of abstract and it's kind of, simple down a lot of things, but it's simple enough that you can add your own special rules if you needed to add some troop type that's not included in the rules kind of thing. So, if you're doing it for like a historical battle or something like that. Well, I like those mechanics. I like the press your luck mechanic to it. Do you activate somebody who's easy to activate so your turn doesn't end? Or do you activate the guy you really need to activate and roll the dice, Good thing is I can base my regular guys normally and put some extras on around to make up Dragon Rampant warbands. Some bases are 3, some of 2. Okay. Yeah, I keep saying that I want to play Lion Rampant or something like that and just use regular stands and then mark off the casualties. But I guess I haven't wanted to bad enough, it's something that keeps me from painting. And it's not that I'm dying to paint, but I gotta paint things, or there's not going to be any new armies coming from me. So I don't have the luxury of just buying stuff already painted. That's a no-no. I'm not allowed to do that, I've been told. Wouldn't want to. Defeats the purpose for me. Okay, so we got his hat done. We need to do his, let's go ahead and do his quiver. He's quivering in his quiver. Let's use this Monster Brown from Army Painter. We've been here almost an hour? Wow. No wonder I'm getting tired. Man, maybe we can get this guy done, and then we can call it a night. This is, 9:30 is pretty late for me. I'm not a night person. Used to be. I also used to be in my 20s. So I'd much rather get up at 4 o'clock in the morning than stay up till midnight. I could deal with a 4 a.m. wake up a lot better than I could deal with the stay away till midnight. Because you're staying awake after you've been awake all day. That's just tiring. That's not worth it, you know. Been there, done that, had that done to me. Oh, I didn't want you. Oh, this one's for the face. No, save this one. Save this one. Yeah, this Army Painter paints. I don't mind the colors. They're a different makeup. They're really strange. Have I played Field of Glory rules? Only on the computer. And I've played a fair amount of it on the computer. They're okay. The thing I don't like about the computer rules, anyways, I can't speak of the miniatures, is the command and control seems to be kind of absent, and there's no general's element, and I don't know. I played quite a bit of the computer game. Didn't get the latest. I think there's 2 expansions. I haven't gotten the last 2, and you know, you increasingly draw on a dragon rampant, but no harm done multi-basing a few. Considering most foot are units of 12, it would probably be a help. Yeah, 3 stands of them, right? Or if you use 3, that's 4 stands of 3, or 3 stands or 3 stands of 4. Yeah, 12. Yeah, see, I'd play it and then I would just forget the units are all a certain size or whatever. I mean, that's good for like a tournament or something like that, but if you're trying to do like your own battle, like at a convention, which is where I played the game, then it doesn't really matter how big the units are. You could just come up with your own rules. You know, maybe these guys have a 14-man unit. You know, but that's stuff you can kind of wing after. I mean, I wouldn't do it now, I'd have to do it, after playing the game quite a few times and so forth, and it's fresh in my mind. So, do I need much of a computer to play Fog? I think you do. It's okay. I mean, I think there's things that it does better than DBA. There's no pips, so that's a bummer. You can move everybody all the time, assuming they're in good order. There's no pip mechanism. But there's limited ammunition. You can't just sit there and shoot bows all day long at somebody. It's interesting. It's certainly worth... there's another Russian. Why does it take this many clicks to get rid of that? Maybe I can't do it from that screen. There we go. Let's try it here. Remove. Yeah, it's always 6 or 12. Yeah, so unit of cavalry, like knights, it'd be six of those guys. I guess those are the right numbers for WRG basing. That would work. We can close this win-loss thing. We don't need that anymore. Yeah, let's go here. Only computer game platform I have is a Retro Pi. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, I didn't have I had computers since 1999. It was my own. And then from 2008 until 2020, I didn't have one. Is that right? 2008? I'm sorry, from 2012. From 2012 to 2020. So for 8 years, I didn't have one that worked. I had access to one, but not my own to play games. And games changed a lot. Now everything's on Steam. When I stopped buying them, you could go to a store and find video games, Can't really do that anymore. Not in this town. So it's all Steam things, which, I don't really like, but it does have the advantage of, if you download it and play it for a very short period of time and it sucks, you could return it and get your money back. So, all right, good night, Kennedy. Soviet soap commercial, clean away Western filth. Oh, well. So we're going to have a good fireworks show after the Olympics? Is that what they're waiting on? Big fireworks show in the Ukraine after the Olympics. I don't know. I didn't watch the Olympics. Not planning to. I gave up on it several years ago when the coverage was just abysmal. Hey, athletes don't watch wargaming videos, so I ain't gonna watch athletes. Screw those guys. Running around in your damn underwear. Screw those guys. It's a tiny Linux computer, but it runs nice. They cost like $100. I hate computers. I like them until they stop working. Then I wish they weren't invented. You need a pretty powerful computer to run games well that you would not think that you would need that much of a powerful computer to run. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff happening. But it's an okay system, Field of Glory, at least on the computer. And let's add a little bit more white to that. All right. I think I'm going to have to call it. I'm literally falling asleep. Did you mean the bathroom? Athlete's foot seems subpar. People ask me why I have so many minis and the point of the general lack of technology outside of musical instruments and the home buzz cut. My phone is cardboard. People ask me why I have so many miniatures and I point to the general lack of technology. Your phone is cardboard. I use my phone the least for making phone calls. I literally don't use it for that. I use it as a television. I need to watch something. I watch it on my phone. I have access to everything. And most of the time, actually, what it's doing right now, filming. Yeah, we're gonna have to stop this guy because I'm literally falling asleep. I've been up since 5. Or was it a little before 5 today? No, that was yesterday. I actually woke up at 4:30 on my own. So no, 5 o'clock's the normal wake up time for me. But anyways, thanks for stopping by, folks, and happy painting.